Hello, trigger warning, I'm going to talk about sexuality and religion and, and so on and so forth. Um, like, I personally, the reason why I'm saying this is because, yes, I am talking about sex. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, this guy is a moron who's obsessed with sex. It's like, no, like I've been thinking about making this video for a long time. It's just that I just like I just put it off because I don't like if I because I don't want people to think that I like constantly talk about sex constantly because but the thing is I don't want to think about it a lot. It's just that I think about it a lot just because society keeps, trying to make me feel guilty for thinking things. And I just had to, make a video about this eventually. So I'm just saying that I don't want I'm not trying to make people uncomfortable. This has just been on my mind a lot cuz if I try to, find, research on it, I get a bunch of, people, like uh people trying to make everyone feel guilty for thoughts they have no control over. Now, this is a I actually forgot about this for a while. Uh, like I've been, for several years, I've considered myself right wing. However, there has been, a little comeback of a little section of the right that that has always got on my nerves, has always driven me crazy. It's these fundamentalist Christians that are that that think that that every single word in the Bible was chosen by God, like despite having hundreds and thousands of different translations, different languages, like uh despite having tons of contradictions, they think that every single word in the Bible should be taken to the literal fucking extreme. Uh, and and uh and the biggest problem with that is this talk about lust. They keep repeating, oh, any man who ever looked at a woman lustfully has committed adultery in their heart. Uh, like and they and they go on to say that, if you look at a pretty girl, that's lust. If you look at a picture of a naked woman, that's lust. If you look at a nipple, it's lust. If you look at a boob that's at least this big, it's lust. Like so on and so forth. Yeah, if you pee, it's lust. If you're jogging and your crotch gets itchy, that's lust. Yada 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 yada. It's like, that's not what lust is. Okay. what the definition of lust that and I had to really dig through the internet, and I had to dig through a bunch of like books about Christianity to get this definition, but here it is. Lust is when you think about raping somebody. That's lust. That's it. That's the definition of lust. It's thinking about raping somebody. It's not thinking about jerking off. It's not fantasizing. It's not about getting turned on by somebody in the porno industry that signed a consent form, that got paid to show off their body, that chose to do it consensually. No, lust means think about raping somebody. That's it. When Jesus said, anybody who looks at a woman with lust, you're committing adultery, he did not mean you shouldn't look at a woman and think, damn, she's hot. He was talking specifically about, if you see a woman, don't even think about raping her. That's it. And like I've seen a lot of people that, and like I've seen a lot of people that, try that. I once saw a video of somebody saying that is it okay for a Christian to go to an art museum or take an art class that involves drawing nudes. And it's all like I always got this this thing, like they're always I hear people saying that God wants you to appreciate the human form, that cuz everybody is made in the image of God, and that but if you're looking at nude pictures, if you ever you're allowed to look at it and appreciate God's beauty, but if you start feeling sexually aroused, it's time to look the other way. Yeah. So basically they're saying that it's okay to go in an art museum just as long as you don't get a boner while walking around. And if you do, you're supposed to close your eyes and just wait till your boner goes away. Yeah, like that works. Yeah. You know what? Okay, I just want to say, if you're in an art museum and if you have a boner, just continue walking and completely ignore the fact that you got a boner. The more you try to get rid of your boner using your brain, the more energy goes down there. It's like getting a boner is like there's an on button but no off button. The thing is, if you try to push the off button, you're just turning it on again. Just ignore it. Keep walking. That's how to do it. Like all these priests keep saying, oh, but like if you get a boner, you have to close your eyes and drive all the way home with your eyes blindfolded. It's like, that's dumb. It's like that's dumb. It's like, in order for me, the closest art museum is in Chicago. I'd have to drive, I'd have to speed on the expressway just to get home. It's like, wow, like, yeah, it's like enjoy it as long as you can, just as long as you don't get a boner, and always pay very close attention to what's happening down there, because if something happens down there, you're going to hell. That's what they're telling me. You know what? Bullshit. I mean, God wouldn't make such a stupid rule. And you know what? Like, and you know how I know that is because in the story of Adam and Eve were naked, and and He designed them that way, and God wants everybody to appreciate all the work that all the artwork that He's made, and yada yada yada, and all that stuff. And God in the Bible keeps talking about how men and women should get married and procreate and yada yada yada. And guess what? You'll never be able to get married with somebody unless you're so-called lusting. And by lusting I mean, the modern day bastardized version of lust, where they mean like any single sexual thought under the sun. So anyway, so lust can't mean simply being lust can't simply being sexually excited about something. And it has to be thoughts about raping somebody, unconsensually. And what, if you look at the if you if you look at any of the artwork that has been made, every single depiction of heaven that I've seen in the Christian religion is filled to the brim with naked angels. I mean, well, why are the angels naked in all these artworks? It's all these popes in history always always paid artists to make all these naked angels for them. Were all of these were like I mean, if you look at historical artifacts, there hasn't been the Catholic Church, the Christian and Catholic Church hasn't ever been this obsessed with not trying not to get horny since the Victorian ages. It was sometime in the Victorian ages when all this crap started, where lust all of a sudden became don't look at anything that might turn you on, even the slightest. Yeah, I mean, in the 80s, when the 70s and 80s, when Pope John Paul II was around, he actually explained it to people about that. Once a new pope came, everybody reverted it back to Victorian ages. Pope John Paul II explained that artistic nudity is not pornography. It's not. Okay, I don't even know what pornography is, because it's but yeah, okay, I could make a video about the art versus pornography debate, but it's it like but like like but anyway, he made it clear. The Pope John Paul II said that the human body is a beautiful thing, and that lust means feeling like thoughts about committing sexual assault on somebody just because they turned you on. That's what lust is. It's not being turned on. That's not lust. Lust is being turned on and thinking about raping the person. That's what lust is. Okay? I hope everybody is clear. I hope that I opened everybody's minds. God, if God wanted men and women never to look at never if God intended men to never look at women, he wouldn't have put so many hormones in everybody's body. I mean, boys get sexually aroused before they're even taught what sex actually is. Like, I got turned on sexually when I was like around 10, but I didn't even know what sex was until I was 12 or 13. I mean, yeah, and and even when people explained sex to me, I thought it was the grossest thing ever, but that didn't prevent me from getting horny. I mean, I like it's weird to explain. It's like, I mean, I liked how, my body parts felt, but I thought that the concept of putting one body part into somebody else's body part was kind of gross. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's like I hope I hope that uh I hope that I opened your minds about it, about this topic, because it's been driving me nuts. I mean, I was when I was little, I've been taught the story of Adam and Eve and how they were naked and everything was beautiful, and all of a sudden when I was like a teenager, everybody started saying that, like painting nudes is like a is adultery and yada 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 yada. So bye.